Welcome back to my channel. In this course, we are going to build a simple API CRUD application with Bun.js, Hono.js and SQLite database by following its official documentation. If you are new to this channel, subscribe this channel to get more tutorials. Let's get started. First of all, install Bun on your system by following its official documentation. If you are on Linux operating system, at first install curl and then use this command to install Bun CLI and then follow the instruction. You will find a link in video description how to install Bun CLI on Linux or Ubuntu. Now I am going to create a Hono application using Bun create command. Open new terminal and type this command Bun create. From this command list, copy Bun create Hono command to create a Hono simple application. Here, Hono-app is the name of Hono application. You can change this application name and enter the name you want. My case, my API 1. Hit enter. Okay. Now navigate to this application by CD and then open this application with any text editor. My case, Visual Studio Code is preferred. This is the directory structure of Hono application. Okay, this application running on localhost with port number 3000. Okay, open package.json file and here notice in the script you will find a command to start the development server. Copy this command and then start the development server. Now copy this URL and verify it on Postman. In this course, I will verify the API using Postman application. Okay, open a new tab, enter the request URL here. From here, this is the route. It is using get method, so select the get method and then send the request. That's it. You will see a message hello world. Okay, here get route send response with JSON data message with value. Okay, let's connect to SQLite database with Hono application by following its documentation. Okay, search for SQLite. At first import SQLite database. Now create an instance of database. Define reference variable db, okay, of database class and also enter the database name my case mydb, and then use the extension of SQLite database. Okay, you can use SQLite 3 database extension, okay, to working with SQLite 3 database. Let's create a table with some column so that we can store data into it. So copy this code and paste here, and you can change the table name and also add the column you want to create inside this table. Okay, I'm going to add 4 column: ID, name, email and password. Okay, now restart the development server and resend the request. Then you will see a database has been generated inside this application with the name and SQLite extension mydb.sqlite. I'm going to open this SQLite database with db browser for SQLite. Okay, let's make a get route and retrieve users information from database using select query. Now make get route with get http method. Okay, enter the route here. Hono is a small, simple and ultra-fast web framework. Hono is a small, simple and ultra-fast web framework. It has 4 HTTP method and routing: get, post, put and delete. Okay, now enter the route here. My case users. Okay, now verify the routes on Postman. Restart the development server and send the request using get method. Okay, that's it. The route is working. Now use the select query. Copy this query and paste here. Okay, here define a variable and modify the table name. Okay, and also modify here. Okay, now restart the development server and verify on Postman. Send a request. User table is empty. Now we are going to make a post route and use post method so that we can create a new user. Here enter the route, my case user, okay. Now restart the development server and verify the post route. Select post method and then change the route here. Okay, now send the request. That's it. Let's parse the body so that we can get the form parameters and values. Define a variable and parse body with parse body promise. Okay, we need to use a wait. Now get the parameters name from body parsing. Enter the parameter name here. Also get others parameter name, email, and also password. Okay, let's define an array. Name it my case params. Initialize an empty array and then put the elements into this array. The elements are name, email, and password. Okay, we need to set the parameters using set method. C.set set name for name, also set email, password. Okay, now I'm going to return the parameters value. Now we can check the functionality in Postman. by returning from input data. Restart the development server, and here set the headers, enter key, content type, enter the content type value, application or JSON, and then go to body and then select raw. Here enter as JSON data, name, and password. Okay, now send the request. That's it. The post method is working well. Let's insert the user's information into users table using SQL insert query command. Here define a variable SQL. Now copy this SQL query. Here I am going to split this SQL query into two parts. First part, here modify the table name, users, and also column name, name, email, password. Okay, and also enter the question mark equal of the number of column. There are 3 columns in user table, so we need to use question mark 3 times. Okay, and the other part is here params. Okay, now call db run command to apply the SQL command. db.run. Here the run method accept two parameter, SQL query and SQL query binding. Here SQL is SQL query and params is SQL query bindings array. Okay, now save this file and let's verify on Postman. Now send the request. That's it. Now get all users using get method. We need to restart the development server and then send the request. Now get all the users using get method. That's it. Let's make a put route and use HTTP put method so that we can update an existing record of a user. I am going to use the same code of post route by modifying some portion. So copy this code and paste here. Change the HTTP method post to put and then change the JSON message. Okay, I'm going to display updated message. Okay, here we must use id parameter because we will update a record of a user by id. Okay, and change the query insert with update. Okay, so change insert with update users. Now set the column where you want to update email. Okay, name, email and password, and then use where clause to set the condition with id. Okay, now call db.run and pass SQL and params into run method. Okay, let's verify on Postman. Save the file and then restart the development server, and here change the name and then select the put method and then use the route with id. I'm going to change the name of the id one. Okay, send request. Here we need to parse id because we are going to update user information by id. Okay, so parse parameter and put this id in params array. Okay, now save this file and restart the development server. Now send the request. That's it, and check the name has been updated. Okay, let's make a get route so that we can retrieve a record of a user by id from database. Now change the route, get the parameter id. Okay, now return. Now restart the development server and verify the route. That's it, the route is working. Now define a variable SQL and use select query. Copy this and paste here. From here, select this portion and cut, paste here, and also change the table name with users, my case. Okay. Now use where clause here, set the condition here. Okay. Now define another variable and then call db.prepare and pass SQL variable as a parameter of prepare. Okay. Now modify this JSON with user return all information of the ID. Here change with ID. Okay. Now save this file and restart the development server and verify on Postman. That's it. Now retrieve the user whose ID is 2. Okay. Now make a delete route to delete a specific record by ID. Copy this code and paste here and modify the code. Change get method to delete and then change the SQL query delete from users where ID. Okay. Now call db.run and put SQL and then ID as a parameter of run method. Okay. And I'm going to display a message. We must use where clause with ID condition, whether it will delete all the records from users table. Let's verify on Postman. Save this file and restart the development server. Okay, now select delete method and here enter the URL with ID and send request. You can try with async. Okay, now restart the development server. Now send request. If you get this error, that means delete method is not working. It may an issue of Bun.js. If you like this video, like, comment and share. Thank you so much for watching this video.